I don't know how
All
to
right,
do that.
we live. Okay, I'm gonna share it
Okay.
to my Facebook page, and then
Well,
you can
just
just share
tag
it.
me in it. I'm not
Okay,
I'm not
yeah, we
like
live.
computer savvy. You
I'm gonna
gotta help
share
me,
it.
Shay.
All right, here we go. It's on my page. All right, all right, there we go. How y'all doing? I'm giving a few people time to come on in, letting her share it to her page. I just shared it to my main page. All right, by 8:03, we gonna get started.
Okay. 2
So
minutes.
I don't know if I can tag you in it though.
I don't know. I don't even know how to do that with being on here because I'm scared if I do something, I'm gonna hang
Just
up.
use your phone. Use your cell phone.
That's what I'm talking on.
Oh no, you can share it later.
Okay.
Cause yeah, we don't need nothing going on. One more
Right.
minute. One more minute, and we're gonna get started. Thank y'all for coming on in. Thank y'all for joining the self love journey tonight. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Share it with somebody that's struggling in their self love journey. We here for each other. We're here to build each other up and
We
encourage and
are.
lift each other up. So,
That's what we here for.
mm-hmm. All right now, a few more seconds. Who here? Who need to be here will be here.
Amen.
Yeah. Okay, how y'all doing? It's your girl Shei Atkins. This is the self love journey conversations with me. Um, my ministry and my assignment right now is self love, loving yourself, and loving yourself is just having a healthy relationship with you. And a lot of us weren't taught how to do it. I never was taught how to love myself. I had to learn. I'm just learning. At 30, my mid 30s, learn how to love me, how to set boundaries, how to have self respect. So I just thank God for this idea that He has given me to just give you insight into people's journey who come from different backgrounds, and see them and hear their story of them pulling themselves out. Some of them might not have even started to pull themselves out. I'm so grateful to meet Aisha Hughes, who will be sharing her story on tonight. It's powerful, and I just want to introduce y'all to her and just let God have His way. And I hope that it helps you. And we'll leave room for questions a little later on. But right now, introduce yourself, and we're gonna get into your story and your journey.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Aisha. Um, a little bit about me. I am 39. I have two children. I have a 6-year-old and a 21-year-old. Um, I they are my life. They are my life. Anything that I have been through and anything that I have came out of is because I want them to grow up and know that their mother was strong and she never gave up. So we're gonna self love. Okay, so self love for me, it really means that I have accepted my flaws. I have accepted my past. I'm
Yeah,
focused on my future. I'm really just at the point now where I'm focused on what I can change.
come
And I'm
on.
not gonna worry about what I can't change.
Okay.
You know, that's just where I'm at. Um, growing up, I had a a good life as far as anything I wanted. I was very blessed. My mom and dad, they worked really hard to make sure me and my siblings were taken care of. And um, I like to call my childhood bittersweet because they were like good times and they were bad times.
Yeah.
Um, the good times for me were when we like when we went places as a family, when we had the laughter and the joy and just enjoying each other in the house.
Yeah.
But when the bad times came, those are the times that kind of made me go into a different path mentally. I dealt with my mom. She had a alcohol problem.
Yeah.
My dad, well, because of her drinking, most times she would be verbally um, abusive toward my dad, and it would trigger his physical abuse.
Mm.
So that's what I kind of grew up seeing. And when you're a child and you live in a house like that,
Yeah.
it makes you build up a wall. Like you always look at other people and you thinking on the outside like their family is perfect. They look
Yeah.
like they have it together, but you know what you're dealing with at home. And
Mm-hmm.
so for me, my home life, um, I always wanted to leave. Like I was like, oh, I cannot wait to grow up. I can't
Mm-hmm.
wait to get grown because I don't want to be here. I don't want to deal with this. But
Yeah.
because of that, I started trying to rush things.
Mm.
And also growing up, I was heavy set.
Yeah.
So I was already like going through the stuff at home. Then when I went to school, I was dealing with being heavy set, and kids tease you when you
Yeah.
heavy, you know? And what I started noticing is that the friends I did have, they were really cool, but other kids didn't really accept me
Mm.
because of my size.
Yeah.
So with that, I started getting low self-esteem. You
Yeah.
know, I would like try to look more grown than I was.
Mm-hmm.
I started accepting compliments from boys that were inappropriate. But if this the way they gonna like me, then this what I'm finna be. Cause I
Mm.
wanna be accepted.
So now this was
They
like
didn't
middle
want
school?
this is like late elementary,
Oh
early
wow.
middle school, like fifth, sixth grade.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so when I transitioned to middle school is like when it really kind of started.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I noticed that the boys they didn't want to like be around me in front of everybody else, but they wanted to be around me secretly.
Mm.
But you know, I was being accepted, so I took it.
Wow.
Um, I lost my virginity at 13.
Yeah.
From there, it just kind of went from me doing that, and then that didn't work out. So I think the next person gonna work out, and the next person gonna work out, and then they never worked out. So I'm trying to fill these voids in my life because I want love.
Yeah.
Because in the house I was in, materially, I knew I was loved. I knew my parents loved me because
Yeah.
they fed me, they bought me clothes, they made sure I had a roof over my head. But to get held and hugged a lot to say, I love you, I didn't get that. So I started looking for that somewhere else. Because for the moment, these guys were loving me,
Wow.
you know? And it kind of just went into where I got pregnant at 16. I had my first child at 17. Um, my parents are very supportive of me having a teen pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it just from when I got pregnant, my son's dad, he had got in trouble and he went to prison for 20 years. And
Wow.
here I am, this 17-year-old girl with a baby that I didn't think I was gonna have to raise by myself, but I did. Like
Mm.
I was a single parent at 17. And what
Mm-hmm.
I wanted most was for my son to have a mom and dad in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So here I go with some more toxic relationships.
Wow.
My first relationship was with this guy, and I think I was about 21 or 22, and we
Mm-hmm.
moved out and we got our first apartment. Um, I saw signs that I shouldn't have moved in with him. I
Like,
really did because
like
he
what?
had a drinking problem.
Mm.
One day, I'm gonna tell you,
Wow.
one day I was driving in my car and I went to go and get him because not only did I have a problem with my self esteem as far as just want somebody to like me, like I was
Mm.
taking care of these men.
Mm.
They didn't have to have no car, they didn't have to have no job, they
Oh
didn't have to
wow.
have anything. If they like me, we rolling.
Oh wow.
Yes, it was terrible. And I remember one time I went to go and get him. And on the way back, he asked me to stop at the corner store. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
he went in there, he got like this 6 pack of beer. And so we went back to the house and he was drinking the beer. And then I started noticing his mood altering.
Mm.
And he was like started yelling at me and starting to get violent with me. Well, it took me back to a place of growing up. I didn't
Yeah.
like people hollering at me. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna just take you home. We were riding down the beltway and I'm driving in 5 o'clock traffic. He was so upset that I was taking him home that he hopped out the car on the beltway and started walking down the beltway. Mind you, I had my baby in the back seat and I'm screaming out the window like, "What are you doing? Why are you walking down the beltway?" He's telling me to leave, but I can't leave him because then I'm gonna feel guilty because he hopped out of my car and he
Yeah.
told me he loved me. He told me he loved me,
Uh-uh.
so I can't leave him.
Wow. And they keep a lot
So,
of us stuck thinking
mhm,
everybody love us. If they could be toxic for us, they might not be right for us, but I love you.
I
And
love
I
you, and
love
I'm
yeah.
thinking I'm a big woman, and this nice looking man wants
Yeah.
me. He loves me. I'm not
Wow.
gonna let him go. So we moved in together. That was just one sign, but it was many signs like that, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah.
But we moved in together. That just when we moved in together, it just got worse. Like
Uh-oh.
he was the first time he put his hands on me. I had just went and got my hair done, and we stayed in front of the pool. And so all my friends and a couple of my cousins came over, and they got in the pool. And I remember he came home, and I
Mm-hmm.
went in the house, and I was in the mirror just like messing with my hair. And he's
Yeah.
like, "What you doing?" And I was like, "I'm just messing with my hair." And so he was like, telling me, "Oh, you think you look good?" And I snatched that out your head. And I was like, "You better
Uh-oh.
not snatch it out of my head." But he snatched it out and he like snatched my hair out, went outside and threw it in the pool. And when I said something back, that was the first time he called off and like literally beat my ass.
What?
Yes. And I was like, oh my God. I was trying to be okay because now I'm finna go back outside with my people, and they gonna see it. But I
Yeah.
hid it. I hid it because I couldn't
Wow.
tell on him because he loved me.
That's what you was thinking.
Yes. And so he
Wow.
would apologize. He would like buy me stuff and just apologize, tell me he didn't mean it, and I would believe him.
Mm.
know? And
Yeah.
I remember it was times where he burnt me with an iron. I've had a dresser dropped on me. I've had a
Lord.
TV thrown at me. It was
Uh-uh.
holes in my wall where he would punch them, where he
Uh-uh.
would punch me, where I would just, I had to walk on eggshells because I would be scared that if I said something wrong, he was just gonna go off. It was really bad. Well, I
Oh,
ended up getting out of that relationship. The very last time I was with him, I remember I blacked out because he dropped the dresser on me.
wow.
And my cousin had to come and pick me up. And I went back to her house and I had to figure out a way to get out. So my mom, she helped me. She helped me get my stuff and get out. And I went back and I lived with her for a while.
Uh-huh.
During that time, I felt like I was trying to start getting my life back because I had been in this abusive relationship. Like it was times where he cut the lights off on my son when he was in the restroom, while he was in the tub because he was mad at me. It was just so many different abusive um stories that I could give you from that one relationship. But when I left it, I was like, let me get myself together. So I started
Mm-hmm.
going to church and praying. Oh God, Jesus, please send me. When you're ready for me to have somebody, send him to me. But I never could wait. I never could wait on God
Wow.
ever. I always had somebody.
Wow.
And it started being to where I would listen to people talk about, oh, well, when you meet him, you're gonna know he gonna just come up to you. So somebody could come up to me in the grocery store, and I'd be like, "Is this my husband?
Wow.
Is this him?"
Wow.
You know,
So
and I
what
was
do you think that was that made you just not be able to just stay alone for a small amount of time before thinking about your next husband?
because like to be alone meant that nobody liked me. It meant that I wasn't pretty because I don't understand why I have to be alone. I cook, I clean, you know what I'm saying? I take care of home. So why do I have to be alone? And I wanted a father for my son because I wanted that.
Wow.
Okay.
So you was looking for
So
validation too.
yes, I, I felt like I didn't love myself, but if I could love somebody else the way I wanted to be loved, then I felt fulfilled.
Right. You felt like you was of value.
Yeah, I felt like you needed me, so I know you're not gonna go anywhere because you need me. I wouldn't even date
Wow.
men who didn't need me.
Wow.
Yeah,
And so when you say need me, what you mean by that? Need me to do what?
like I want to take you to work. I want to pick you up.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to do all these things that I wish somebody would do for me. I want to do it for
Yeah.
you. But I feel needed. I feel like, okay, well, I know I'm gonna have to see him today because he needs me to pick him up from work. Or I know he gonna call
Wow.
me because, you know, he gonna need he gonna want to have sex with me. Or I know that it was just anything that I knew to reassure myself that this person was gonna call me back, I would do it. You
Wow.
want me to bring you something to eat? You ate today? You hungry? Like I always made like the excuses to make sure that I was needed. Like whatever you
Wow.
needed.
Wow. So did you end up attracting the same type of toxicity because of you looking for
Mm.
a broken man?
Yes, all my
Wow.
relationships have pretty much been the same. I prayed after that, and I would bounce around with men, and then finding. Well, I ended up getting married.
At what age?
I got married, um, probably like around 30. No, it was like 28, maybe 28, 29.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, the marriage, I I knew that the marriage, I wanted to be married. And I
Mm-hmm.
wanted a man that loved me and who would like worship the ground I walked on and who would love my son and we could be together. And when I met this man, he was so nice. Like I had
Mm.
never met anyone who was just so nice.
Wow.
But before we got married, I saw signs.
What happened?
So when he proposed to me at my favorite restaurant. I love me some gringos. Shout out gringos.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he proposed to me at Gringos. He took me out and he took me to this restaurant and I remember he did it in front of like everybody and I just thought, "Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I'm going to marry
Yeah.
you." Well, soon after that, like I started noticing how he would ride past my house. I was still living at home, and the car he drove, it had like a motor in it where you can know that that car riding by.
Oh Lord. I'm getting
And
nervous.
so I was laying in the bed one day and I had the TV off. So I was just thinking, like, just listening to some music, thinking, and I kept hearing this car ride by, ride by, ride by. So I looked out the window. Sure enough, it was his car. He stayed a good hour from me, but he
Uh,
rolled by me because I didn't answer the phone. He
Wow.
left an hour to come see why I didn't answer the phone. So when he wrote when I went outside to confront him, because he ended up parking at my neighbor's house like I didn't know that was the car. And I went
Yeah.
outside to confront him and I told him that, I don't know if this gonna work because there was other things too that it was like he if I didn't answer the phone, he was upset. If I told him that I wanted a wedding. I wanted to wait a year
Yeah.
before he proposed to me in February and we were married in April
Wow.
because he told me he didn't want to be with a woman who he couldn't be under one roof with. And he not finna wait a year. Well, now I know he couldn't wait a year because his craziness couldn't wait a year.
Wow. Lord G, you
But
speaking.
we went in, and we moved in together. He couldn't keep a job.
Mm.
One night we would always argue about things that he thought I was doing.
Wow.
Your phone was ringing and you didn't answer it. Who was that on the phone? Or or I called you from work and you didn't answer the phone. What were you doing? Were you with another man?
Mm.
But me, I'm thinking he acting like that because he loves me.
Wow.
He loved me. Like he care about what I'm doing, where I'm at. So one day, we were one day he was at work and I had to go pick him up. But I did. Okay.
Yeah.
So I had to go pick him up. And on the way home, our marriage had been so rocky that I was like, I'm gonna make him some steak. I'm gonna cook for him and, you
Yeah.
know, do all these different things for him. And when he got home, I don't know what I said when we pulled up on the phone. I can't recall if it was something like, I'm home, I'll call you later. Because me and my cousin, we talk so much that 9 times out of 10, I'm always on the phone with her.
Yeah.
And I might have said something like, I'm going to call you back or whatever I said, that's not what he heard.
Mm-mm.
In his mind, I was saying something else. So we got into an argument. And at that point, I was like, well, forget everything that I did in the house. Like, I don't even want to fix you the steak. I don't even want to have this romantic evening with you because you are already acting stupid. I said, I'm finna go. He said, no,
Yeah.
you're not going nowhere. I said, I am. Get out my truck. I'm finna go. He hopped out my truck and I put the truck in reverse. He pulled out his gun and he shot at me
Uh-uh.
multiple times. Started shooting at
Uh-uh.
my tires, shooting at my truck, and I backed up and I just left. Now, a
Ooh.
smart person would have never went back to somebody like this.
Right.
But he loved me.
Right. Wow. But a
He
lot of women
loved
say
me.
he loved me.
He loved me. So I dealt with him. I dealt with him. I dealt with days I was questioning my marriage. And I dealt with CPS coming in my life because he put a gun in his head and tried to kill himself because I told him that I wanted to leave him. I dealt with him going in the house at night and just taking my phone and going through it. I couldn't go anywhere with my friends because he wanted to tag along. He was always like this third wheel. But if I
Wow.
didn't let him go, my nights at home would be so bad that I just didn't want to deal with it. And my true friends, they would be like, Aisha, come on, man, leave him, leave him. But I
Yeah.
couldn't.
Because
He
he
loved
loved me.
me.
Wow.
I couldn't leave him. That's my husband.
Wow.
And throughout all the time that we were together, it was always toxic. The last time I was with him was in 2010. I
Mm-hmm.
never forget. It was November 6th, 2010. For Color Girls had just came out.
Yeah.
You remember that movie, For
Yes,
Color
I
Girls?
do. Yes, I do.
Um, that whole week, I'm like, hey, me and for I wanted to go have a girls' night with all my girls. We was gonna go see For Color Girls and we was gonna go out to eat. That whole week, I'm like, hey, don't forget me on Saturday. I'm going with my girl.
Yeah.
Okay, everything cool. I'm cooking, cleaning, fixing,
Yeah.
everything. Okay, making
Yeah.
the whole week smooth. Well, the day came. That morning, I got up and I went to go to the grocery store because I'm gonna barbecue. I'm gonna make sure like him, my little brother, my son, they have what they need to eat, and I'm
Yeah.
I got my son got company to keep him company. My
Mhm.
husband gonna have food, so he gonna be good.
Mhm.
So the whole day, like his friend came over with his daughter, and I was playing with his daughter, and I remember um my sister in law called me, and she was like, I had been talking to her about leaving him
Yeah.
like for a while. And she called me and she asked me, how was that going? Like
Yeah.
how is the thing going with you looking for
Yeah.
somewhere else to stay? And da, da, da. So I'm in the kitchen talking and he in the living room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking, girl. It's just a slow process. Cause at this point I'm trying to get away from him. Cause let me back up a little bit. Right before this, we were on 59 and I remember he was driving and I must have said something to upset him, and he started mashing on the gas, going like 120 miles an hour, saying
Uh-uh.
he would kill us. He used to threaten my life all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, all the time. And this last time that I'm telling you about now was like the last straw for me.
Okay.
But when he heard me telling her what I was saying, he just started cussing. Bitch, you got me fucked up.
Wow.
And I was like, what is wrong? So at this point, she like, well, girl, do you need to go take care of something and call me back? And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, let me go see what's going on. So I go, and his friend's still there, mind you. And now I'm upset because you talking to me a little foul in front of your friend. So I
Yes.
went back upstairs, and he was like, cause you talking about leaving me, and I'm telling you, you're not gonna leave me, and I'm not gonna let you leave. And so I was like, I'm not finna do this because what he doing is trying to mess me up so I can't go to the movies tonight, and I'm going.
Yeah.
So I go upstairs and I'm like sitting there and I'm going through my clothes and I'm trying to figure out what I'm finna put on. And I remember my son and my brother were in my son's room, and we had a townhouse, so both rooms were upstairs. And the only thing that was separating our rooms was a bathroom in the hallway.
Mhm.
Well, they weren't in the doorway; they were over playing the game. And I remember he came upstairs and he was like, "Give me your truck keys." And I was like, "No, because you're trying to leave and you know I have somewhere to go." And he was like, I'm gonna be right back. I said, "Well, take your car," because all my friends was riding with me, and
Yeah.
so I needed my truck. Well, he was like, "Well, we need to talk after you get back." And I was like, you know what? At this point, it's really nothing else to talk about because when I was downstairs, this is what you did when I was on the phone. Like, I'm done. I don't want this no
Yeah.
more. I just think we need to make preparations to start our divorce and everything. But he went in the closet and he got a gun and he put the gun up to my head right here and he pulled the trigger back. And I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm so sick of you always telling me you're gonna leave me. And I'll never forget the look in his eye because it wasn't a regular look. Like he could have killed me.
Yeah.
When he pulled it back, he pressed it. Cause I was like, please don't do that. Like you gonna mess up my son's life. I was like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get away with it. I was like, we can work it out. Whatever you want to do, just please don't kill me. I said, it's not worth it. I was like, I was just upset. I won't even go today if it's a problem. And when I just stood there and when he pressed it, I just knew it was over.
Wow.
I knew it was over, but something in him, he pressed it so hard and he pulled it back and he was like, fuck it. If you want to leave, just go. And he went downstairs and I went in that bathroom and I bawled over because I could have been dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like everything after that, it just kind of tore me up because I wouldn't have met you today. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be sitting here telling my story. I wouldn't have my son. I mean, my whole family's life could have changed because of him.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell nobody that. I
My
couldn't
my
tell
my.
nobody that this man
My
put
my
no
my.
gun up to my head and tried to kill me
My my
because
my.
I would think about what's gonna happen if I put my family in this and then some people react. You know, some things you
Yeah.
do you can't get back. And
Hello.
so, I made it through that. I left him, but that didn't end my toxic relationship.
Wow.
I was still going.
Wow.
When I moved by myself away from him, because what happened was I ended up telling him that with it was nothing but the grace of God, really, because he would always lose his job. And the last time he lost his job, I told him like I can't afford to pay here by myself. So
Mm-hmm.
we just gonna take some time apart because at this point you still pull the gun on me. I'm
Wow.
still in the house with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm like, we're gonna just take some time apart. We're not gonna get a divorce. We're gonna work on our marriage and I'm gonna make sure that that we get to a place where we can be on one accord. And he was like, I know you gonna leave me. And I was like, no, I'm not, because I'm still in the house with him after he pulled his gun
Yeah.
on me.
Right. Right.
And so I was like, no, I'm not. Well, what happened was I didn't know what I was gonna do because we get fear in us. We don't lean on God all the time at the right time. And that time I wasn't trying to lean on him. I'm trying to figure it out myself. What
Yeah.
am I gonna do? Well, I ended up finding these apartments and I moved into them. He wasn't real familiar with Houston. So I told him I was like, well, I'm gonna move back home.
Yeah.
But I was really getting an apartment and
Right.
he lost his car, he lost his job, so we took him back home and then I kind of just stayed away. Okay. Well,
Mm-hmm.
when I got to my new place, I literally jumped from him to one of my old flings. Didn't mean me
Wow.
no good, no good. But I didn't want to be alone. And
Wow.
I knew this next person loved me. You couldn't have told me he didn't love me. You couldn't have told me he didn't love me. Because he
Wow.
was with me before and then he came back. So
Yeah. 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 He love you.
he loved me.
He
So
came back for
I'm
you.
like entertaining him. It ain't going nowhere. And I finally got a little bit of strength and I stopped entertaining him. And
Okay.
it was another one I was entertaining. Like I have had sex with a lot,
Yeah.
like for
Yeah.
real. And it's not nothing I'm happy about. It was
Yeah.
literally because every time I would lay down with somebody, I wasn't fulfilled.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was looking for. I felt even more empty.
Yeah.
What was I looking for? I never got it. I never got it. And I remember I took a break and then I met the person I was the last person I was in a relationship with. I have been single for like 4 years now.
Okay. That's a beautiful
Yeah,
thing. That's
I
beautiful.
have been single. And the last relationship I was in tore me up, took me down to my lowest point
Wow.
because that relationship, when I got with him, he showed me things I wasn't used to. He came in paying bills,
Oh
leaving
shoot.
money in the drawer, like, hey, this
Yeah.
for you, this is our money. You go do what you need to do. Like he was showing me things. He was putting groceries in the house and he was spending time with
Oh.
my son and he was, I got to know his son and it was just me and his family, we was all cool and
Yeah.
it was good. It was good that first year.
Yeah.
Then I started seeing another side of him.
Mm-mm.
Like we 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 would always want to like I wanted to always be like I don't know, you ever like been with somebody and it's just not enough. I always wanted to do more and more and more and more and more because I'm thinking it's gonna keep him. And that's when I started
Yeah.
with like messing with drugs because he did cocaine.
Wow.
But in the beginning we wasn't doing cocaine. We was
Uh-huh.
doing bath salt. Like it was some
Oh.
stuff you would get out the smoke shop and then you would like snort it and then you got your high.
Wow. And
And
so just
we
not
started doing it.
well, I guess what I'm trying to ask. When he introduced you to that, what were your thoughts on him introducing you to bath salt?
Like we was having some good sex. It was
Wow.
good. I was like on like a whole new level of high.
Wow.
And I liked it.
You
I
like,
liked it. But it wasn't working with my body.
yeah.
I had a panic attack at work one day. I had to get rushed to the hospital. And I remember my family came up to the hospital to see what was wrong with me. And I knew what was wrong.
The bad
But
salt.
I couldn't tell them what was wrong. But they came because they was concerned. But I literally was. It would make me hyperventilate. It would make me start seeing stuff. It would make me start having like, like I would be talking to you, and I done made up a whole thing in my mind about what you said about me, and you ain't say nothing.
Wow.
You know. And then it started getting to the point where the bath salt wasn't strong enough, so we started doing cocaine.
Wow.
Cocaine took me to my lowest point though. I literally had lost weight. I had it was unhealthy weight though. And then
Yeah.
I ended up like neglecting my oldest son. I'll never forget his birthday one year. Oh my God, I never forgot my baby birthday. And
Yeah.
I did not do anything for him that day. And my mama was like, "You are so wrong. You told him you was gonna come pick him up this weekend and you was gonna take him to go do something with him." But I was high. I
Yeah.
ain't want to go get him. I want to
I-
keep doing this stuff so I can keep getting high. And the more that I would think about like having to stop getting high to go get him, I ain't want to.
Wow.
But I remember that day and I
Yeah.
felt so bad. In my mind, people were looking inside of my apartment. My blinds could be closed.
Yeah.
I had sheets up over the blinds. I was isolated from the world because I would make up things. One night I was laying in the bed and it was pitch black and my boyfriend was asleep because he had to get up and go to work the next
Hmm.
morning. And I remember in my mind, somebody was on my patio saying, "Look at her fat ass. He don't want you. You a fat. Ugh, look at her laying there." I heard these people, Shay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I hit him. I said, "You cheating on me? You cheating on me?" He was like, "What's wrong with you?" I said,
Yeah.
"Somebody outside on the patio and they
Yeah.
talking about me." He ran outside and he like, "Aisha, I'm leaving because you tripping.
Yeah.
But how you gonna leave me and you introduced this stuff to me?
Yeah.
Like now I'm going crazy and you wanna leave me?"
Wow.
I fell on the ground begging him not to leave me, like literally
Wow.
crying, grabbing this man's ankles not to leave me because I didn't see nothing else but him. I love
Wow.
you. What are you doing? I love
Yeah.
you more than I love myself. How can
Yeah.
you leave me?
Lord help.
And he told me, he was like, as toxic as our relationship was, he was so real with me on certain things. And he was like, "Don't you ever let no man make you lay down on the floor grabbing their ankles like that."
Yeah.
And I was just like, "What?" Everything
Wow.
I did for him. When I lost weight for him. When I cooked for him. When I went to work, I went to work for him. Like it
Mm-mm.
was no way that I was gonna let somebody else leave me again. So
Yeah.
I stayed off and on, off and on, off and on. I dealt with cheating. I found women in my apartment. I had
Wow.
I ended up we ended up going through such a toxic time that I had to like let him go. I had to let him go. But every time I would let him go and I would start getting myself back together, here he come. Here
Wow.
he
That's how
come.
it be. That's how it be.
And I'll be like taking him back, taking him back. Well, like the last time we broke up, I remember that's when I got pregnant with my youngest son. And I remember like I was lonely. Like when he left, I didn't know how to function. The house didn't feel right anymore.
Wow.
Nothing was fun. I didn't want to be around anyone. I just I found a way to keep doing that cocaine though. I
Wow.
found a way to keep, you know what I'm saying, having sex with different men, trying to fill that void.
Trying to fill that
And
void.
this time when I had sex with different men, I got pregnant.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
got pregnant this time. And I'm like, telling him, I don't know if this your baby. because I was with other people, and he was like, "No, it doesn't matter. It takes more than a man to make a child. We're gonna raise this baby together," and everything was cool during the pregnancy a little bit. He
Yeah.
still was living with like a whole nother woman, but he loved me because he told me when I had the baby he was gonna come home. Told me he
Right.
was gonna come home, girl, when I had the baby. So I went through that pregnancy because I had hope. Oh, he coming back. I'm gonna have this. He gonna come back. He came back. He came back. My baby is 6 now, and I haven't been like. uh, It was like my baby was 2, and he left, and now I'm like, okay. Um, he started to say things now. I'm like, can you help me get him some diapers if he
Yeah.
mind? If he mind. But
Wow.
you told me that we was gonna have this baby together because you told me that it didn't matter. You told me it take more than just a man to make a baby. Like it's a
Yeah.
man is a dad is a person who gonna be there. What you mean if he yours? He talking about I
Yeah.
want a test. I'm talking about fine. So I gave him a test and it wasn't his. So now I gotta start thinking about who the hell was I sleeping with when I was high.
Yeah. Wow.
So I'm trying to run all these men back in my head and say, I don't know. Like to this day, I don't know. I don't know. I was in a very bad place.
Hold on, this radio that came on by itself. Let me turn it off right
Okay.
quick. Now I'm like, okay, I'm hearing things now. How the radio just come on by itself? In the name of
See,
Jesus. All right, go
right.
ahead.
Amen. That's the devil, girl. You know he mad
Baby,
because I'm telling my
yeah, he
story
mad
today.
because
You
that ain't
know he
never happened.
mad.
That has never happened in this house.
He mad. He trying to disrupt some stuff, but it's
Yeah, he is.
I'm tired. But so yeah, so I've tested like 6 people and I don't know. And I used to beat myself up.
Yeah,
Like, what what have I done? What was I doing? Like who was I with? What was
yeah,
going on? But I had to remember too, there were times where I was crawling on the floor in my own house. Like it could be me in the house right now by myself. And I'm crawling on the floor because in my mind somebody looking at me out the window. So I'm
wow.
crawling back. It was bad. It was so
Yeah.
bad.
So
I
how do you come out of that place where you just addicted, getting high, hallucinating? How do you get the strength to come up out of that thing?
I'ma say as much as I question, because I questioned God on my last child. Like, come on, what is this?
Yeah.
But as much as I question him, I know God gave me my child because he has slowed me down tremendously. My
Wow.
oldest son, it was just different with him. It wasn't like that. Like we grew up together and
Yeah.
he made me accountable in a different way. But I wasn't
Mm.
in this place with my youngest son. I mean my
Mm-hmm.
oldest. But my youngest son, like I don't know. It's just some of the he holds me accountable. He be like,
Mm.
Mama, you said you was gonna get up and go do this today, or you said we was gonna do it. And it's just like he comes in and he tells me he loves me effortlessly. And when
Yeah.
I look at him and I think about where I was at, like I can't raise him like that. That's not fair to him. I already beat myself up because I already don't know who your father is. So the least I can do is try to make sure that I make something of myself so that you don't have to feel the effects of not having 2 parents. You got one strong parent who loves you so much and who
Yeah.
will do anything for you. And I have to prove that to him. So I started off with like praying. The first thing I had to do was I had to get to a point and accept who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I can't change nothing I did.
Yeah.
I can't. I can sit up, I can cry about it, I can drink, I can
Yeah.
smoke, I can snort cocaine, I can do all that kind of stuff, but at the end of it, it's still gonna be here.
Yeah.
And I remember the days when was happy. Anytime that I was happy, I was in church.
Come
I was
on.
singing in the choir, I
Wow.
was doing a Bible study. I was always been like a really positive person on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Not on the inside, but on the outside. And so it's nothing for me to come sit around you and make you happy and make you smile and all that kind of stuff. And then I go back home and be in this dark place. I got tired of doing that. Why I
Yeah.
gotta come home every day and lay in the bed and just stare at the wall for hours
Yeah.
because I want to get to a point where I want to just be high all day. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's so much inside of me. It's so many gifts inside of me, and it's so much inside of me. And I was always skeptical of even trying to step out and do anything because the first thing I thought people were gonna think is she don't, not her, not her. But why
Yeah.
not me?
Come on.
Why
Come on
not
now.
me? Why can't I have a business? Why
Come
can't I
on.
lose weight? Why can't
Hey.
I look in the mirror and tell myself that I'm beautiful? Why can't I forgive myself? Why? And I started getting to a point where I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop focusing on all this negative stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to be like this no more. And I
Come on.
had to start telling myself, Aisha, you are grown. However you run your life is how it's gonna go. You dictate if you get up and go outside and enjoy the sunlight today.
Come
You
on.
dictate if you're gonna fix a healthy meal. You dictate whether you are gonna have a house that is happy. And that's what
That's
I
right.
want. Like I want to come home and I want to be laughing and just balling over, just holding my stomach. We in here acting a fool.
Come on.
I want to get up on Sunday and I want to praise God and I want to have a structured life for me and my children.
Yeah.
I owe that to myself,
Yeah, you do.
and I had to get to a point where I stopped worrying about what people thought about me.
That's so important. That is so
I would think
important.
I would think that when I went outside, you thought I was the biggest woman walking around.
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm looking about 700 pounds, and
Right.
because of that, I can't look at nobody in their face. Or because of that, I think every time somebody laughing, they laughing at me.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking, like, if I start to work on self, everything else gonna fall into place. And it
Wow.
really has been. Some of
That's
this stuff I ain't even asked. I didn't ask for this, Shay.
yeah.
I didn't ask for today.
Yeah.
This is something that has been on my heart for a long time because
Yeah.
I knew that I went through so much and I would listen to people talk about being single and I had to get to a point where I'm all right with being single because I love me some Aisha. And so if you
That's
can't
powerful.
love Aisha, then we can't be together, baby.
Come on
And
now.
I'm okay. I'm okay with
Wow.
going to the store by myself. I'm okay if I have to go, walking by myself. I'm okay if I don't have nobody to talk to today.
Come
I
on
can
now.
watch TV by myself, like things I could never do, you know? And then I made a point to start getting up doing something to myself because I
Yeah.
would be throwing on hats all the time. Now, let me get up and kind of just wash my face and do something to my hair and make myself feel pretty.
Yeah.
Let me take me a shower and put me on some smell good and let me just, enjoy the aroma of me.
Come on now. That's
It,
powerful.
it took me so long to get here. Like I'm so new with this. I
Yeah.
still struggle every single day.
Yeah.
It's a fight every day for me because
Yeah.
at any point I feel like I can just go back. But when I start having those thoughts, I think about everything I went through and how I don't ever want to go through that again.
I know that's right.
Regardless of what my parents went through, like my dad, he passed away when I was 19. But at looking at my mama and all that she went through and dealt with and the addictions and everything, she never gave up.
Okay.
Never. So
Come on
I
now.
have to I can't give up for my kids either.
Yeah.
You know, they have to look at me and they have to see like when I'm gone in my last days here, if anybody says something about me, I want them to say, man, she came a long way.
Yeah.
She did what she was supposed to do. Yeah, she made some mistakes, but through prayer and consistency, she has changed her life. And I feel brand new. I can't describe to you how I feel now, but it's so different. I'm okay with letting you go, baby.
Yeah.
I'm okay. You can
That's right.
go.
Come
Like
on.
I don't need you in my space. I don't need you in my energy. From now on, my whole goal is just to uplift people. I want to
Yeah.
see everybody around me happy because that miserable place is a terrible place to be.
Ooh, I
That
know.
that that depression place
Yes, Lord.
is a very, very bad place to be.
It is. It really is.
And a lot of us, we go through that. We go through not loving ourselves enough to know when something is not good for you.
That's right.
Whether it's a relationship, it can be a male or female relationship, because even our relationships with our friends, they can be
Mm-hmm.
toxic too.
That's right.
And I never understood before how people would be like, everybody can't go with you, but everybody can go with you,
That's the
because you was
truth.
my club day,
Yeah.
you was my addiction day,
Yeah.
you was when I was out here living loose days.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the new me, I know who I am, and I know who I serve, and I know who holds my hand, and I know who brought me through everything. And for that, I am grateful, because I don't deserve to be here. I don't deserve to be telling my story to nobody, because I am not perfect.
Yeah.
I am not perfect at
Nobody.
all. I can't even, like, I'm not the one who could quote a scripture from the front to the back.
Yeah.
I'll look it up for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll look it up for
I
you.
feel you.
But I still have things that I'm dealing with. But like, finding myself was just like the best thing, like actually loving myself, and really just understanding that I make me complete, me and God. Like,
Yeah.
that's what makes me complete. It's not in sex, it's not in addiction, it's not in, somebody sitting up here trying to fuss over me or fight over me.
Yeah.
It's not through arguing. It's not through any of that. Like, I have to look in the mirror and love me.
Come on now.
I have to love my big lips. I have to love my edges being gone. I have to love
Yeah. Yeah.
my
Yeah.
snappy arms. I have to love
Yeah.
this stomach. Like, I have to love all of this,
That's right.
because when I start loving it and I start taking care of it, then people are gonna be drawn to me, because they're seeing that, hey, this is somebody real. This is somebody who went through something, and if she can
Yeah.
get through it, I can get through it.
That's
Now,
right.
people tell you that all the time. If I can do it, you can do it. But I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I didn't never ever think I would be sitting up here telling my story like this, and putting myself out here to be vulnerable,
Yeah.
because that's
Yeah.
not easy. That's
No,
not
it's not.
easy.
It's not.
But I didn't have no feeling about it, because I don't care. Like, what
Come
I
on.
care about is the new me. And
Come
that's what I'm
on.
excited about. I'm excited about the businesses that I'm about to open, and
Come
all the
on.
wealth that I'm finna start getting, and all the people that I'm gonna help, because this not gonna be the last time that I talk to somebody
That's
and,
right.
and tell them what I went through. This is only
Wow.
the beginning.
Come on now.
So, finding myself, I do the self meditation. I read self help books. I read my
Mm-hmm.
Bible, and I wrote down 300 things, because that's what Steve Harvey said. He said, write down 300 things. It doesn't matter if it's as small as just cleaning out your closet, all the way to a jet, if that's
Yeah.
what you want. But you find 300 things that you want to manifest in your life, and you put that on a list, and you will see, if you look at that list every single day, you'll start seeing where you starting to mark off stuff.
Come
And I
on.
have me a list, and
Come
I've been
on.
marking off stuff.
Come on now.
And I'm
That's
not gonna
beautiful.
stop. Like, I don't ever want to go back to who I was, but I am grateful for the things that I went through. And I don't know
Yeah.
why God put me through all that, but He did that.
Yeah. Well,
He
everybody got a
did that.
story. Yeah.
And I mean, that's just kind of how I found myself.
Come on.
And I literally lost myself, but found myself.
Come on. That's the
And
power of
yeah.
God, God's grace and mercy. And if any of
Mhm.
y'all have any questions, anything you want to say to her, the floor is open. I don't want it to go over an hour. So if you want to say anything to her, I have a few comments from people that you said. Kiana.
Okay. I see
Uh-huh.
Kiana. Thank you,
Uh-huh.
Kiana. And I'm really focusing. I'm really focusing. Thank you so much.
Who else? Proud of you, cousin.
Thank you, Jonathan. This was hard. It was hard for me. I thought it was gonna be so hard, like, as far as like really just telling everything, but this was needed. I feel
Yeah,
free though.
that's
Because you
good.
know
And I
what too? Cause like when God wants you to do something, He gonna keep messing with you till you do it.
Yeah. Oh
He
yeah.
kept messing with me.
I got to the point I was like, look here, Lord, I don't need to be ghosted no more. I don't need to get ignored no more. I don't need to be treated like I'm nothing no more. I got it, Lord. I've
Right.
learned my lesson. I'm ready to come out of this dark pit and I'm ready to smile again. I want it to be real.
Yeah.
And I can smile today because you got to push through, make the choice. Like you said, you got to choose to come out of this, choose to do what
Hmm.
it takes. So, Jaquetta, keep pushing.
Thank you. I'm gonna keep pushing, girl. You know me.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
ain't giving
yeah.
up. I ain't giving up. And I just like when I was doing this, oh, look at the Lord. That is
Come on.
absolutely wonderful.
That is beautiful. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
T.
Renee.
Renee.
You know, and that's amazing that a lot of us go through stuff and we don't look like what we've been through.
Yeah.
You know, and
Mm-hmm.
that is just absolutely amazing.
It is.
Because the God showed me favor. That's all
I'm
I can
proud of
say because
you.
it could have been so much worse. It man, my mind just just thank you, God. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Honesty free.
Honesty, honesty does free you because that's what I was just gonna say when I was contemplating on doing this. God really spoke to me, and everybody can't hear God speak.
Come
Everybody
on.
cannot hear God speak. And I remember the first time I heard Him speak, um, I realized that it was Him speaking. And when I
Mm-hmm.
had a conversation with Him about this, He told me, if you are really done with what you said you was gonna be through with,
Yeah.
tell your story. Because at
Oh,
that point, it started making you accountable.
oh, definitely.
Because now, people like, okay, let me see.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's holding me accountable to keep going, and because I know that I touched somebody, I can't go back because I don't want nobody to go back. I don't want
Yeah.
nobody to leave where they were to go back to where they were. That is
That's
not the
right.
goal. We gotta fix it and move forward.
That's right.
And I'm excited. Like I feel like a weight is off my shoulder.
Come on, Lord.
Oh my God.
He say my yoke is easy, my burden is light.
I've been
Cast
just
your cares
holding
on
this
me.
in for so long.
I
That's
know.
it.
I'm proud of you, and I'm glad that you shared. It's a beautiful story, very touching, very uplifting, and I can see you speaking it and just changing lives. A lot of people, you went through abuse, toxicity, verbal abuse, come from a broken home, had everything but the love that you wanted, and you tried to find that love in people, and you learned that I can't get it outside of me. I got
No,
to
I
get it from
can't.
my heavenly Father.
You feel empty. It's just like
Yeah,
a ongoing repetitive emptiness.
yeah, definitely,
You don't never get fulfilled from it, and then
not
it
at
just
all.
turns into something else. I just thank God He ain't let me lose my mind,
Come on, and you might did lose it for a little bit, but you got it
but I
back.
got it.
You
Come
got
on,
it back.
yes,
You got it back.
ma'am.
So thank y'all for tuning in, and thank you for sharing your story. Y'all holler at her, leave us some comments, show us some love on the page, and if you needed to speak, holler at her. I know she ready. And thank y'all for tuning in to the Self
Thank
Love
y'all.
Journey Conversations with your girl Shei Atkins. Until next time, until the next episode. God bless y'all. Anything you want to say before we go?
I just want to, thank everybody for even listening.
Yeah,
Letting me tell my story and just continue to pray for me because every day
yeah.
is a struggle for me, and it's a struggle for a lot of us. But just continue to pray for me. I'm gonna continue to pray for y'all, and we're gonna get through this. It's only up from here.
That's right. And keep
That's it.
spreading love.
That's it. Because we
Keep
need it
spreading
right now.
love. Encouragement. We here to build each other up. It's a lot going on in the world right now. We need love from each other, encouragement. So y'all keep on pushing. God is still healing. God is still delivering. God is still moving. It's not over just because this pandemic is going on. God is still moving. So keep trusting Him. Keep on praising your way through every day. I got one more message for you. That's right. Don't compare yourself.
Amen, Venus.
That's right.
You're absolutely right. I'm learning that. I
Yeah.
am really learning that. Thank you, Venus. I will
Mm-hmm.
remember that.
All right, y'all. Until next time.
All
God
right.
bless you. See y'all later. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.